Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. The Washington Commanders offseason is already shaping up to be one of the most turbulent in recent memory, and at the center of the storm is quarterback Jayden Daniels, who reportedly feels blindsided by the team's latest coaching moves. According to multiple sources, Daniels, along with several of his teammates, expressed significant disappointment after the franchise decided to part ways with offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury, a move that comes on the heels of a frustrating 5-win, 12-loss campaign in the 2025 season. Daniels had been a vocal supporter of Kingsbury, praising the coach publicly in his Monday press conference and clearly hoping the partnership would continue into the future. The sudden decision, which appeared to be a strategic shift led by head coach Dan Quinn, left Daniels and others questioning the direction of the organization and raised eyebrows across the NFL community. Many insiders suggest that the departure of Kingsbury, who was instrumental in Daniels' development during his offensive Rookie of the Year campaign in 2024, signals a broader organizational upheaval designed to reset the Commanders' offensive approach after an injury-plagued and disappointing year. Daniels' reaction reflects not only personal frustration, but also concern for the continuity and stability that young quarterbacks typically rely on to reach their potential in the league. The timing and nature of Kingsbury's departure could not have been more jarring for Daniels, whose career trajectory has been closely tied to the offensive schemes developed under the coordinator's leadership. In 2024, Daniels flourished in Kingsbury's system, showcasing a level of poise and decision-making that earned him league-wide recognition and cemented him as one of the brightest young quarterbacks in the NFL. However, the following season saw Daniels limited to just 7 games due to a series of injuries that hindered his ability to replicate the previous year's success, and the offense, predictably, struggled without his full participation. While some might argue that the team's decision to move on from Kingsbury was a calculated measure to spark change after a disappointing season, the move has not sat well with the players who were most invested in the previous system. Daniels, in particular, has been vocal about his desire for input on personnel and coaching decisions, and his apparent blindsiding suggests that the front office may not have fully considered the impact of these changes on the team's leadership core and overall morale. The friction between the quarterback's expectations and management's decisions could shape the narrative for the Commanders throughout the offseason, with league observers closely watching how this situation unfolds and whether Daniels' future with the franchise remains secure. Adding complexity to the team's evolving landscape is veteran running back Austin Ekeler, whose recent social media posts have fueled speculation about his future with the Commanders. Having spent just 2 seasons in Washington, Ekeler's Instagram farewell post captured the attention of fans and analysts alike, as it seemed to reflect a deep, emotional connection to the city, the fan base, and his time in burgundy and gold. Ekeler, who brought versatility and leadership to the Commanders' offense, wrote a heartfelt message thanking the DMV area and the team supporters, emphasizing the memorable nature of his tenure despite a series of career-altering injuries. His short but impactful stint in Washington saw him contributing as both a runner and receiver, providing a dual-threat capability that complemented Daniels' quarterbacking skills. However, the 2025 season proved particularly cruel, as Ekeler suffered a devastating Achilles injury in the second week against the Green Bay Packers, prematurely ending what could have been another productive campaign. His reflection on social media, while not explicitly signaling retirement or departure, leaves fans questioning whether Ekeler will return for a 3rd season or move on from a city that clearly left an impression on him both professionally and personally. Ekeler's impact on the Commanders' offense extended beyond statistics. He represented a stabilizing veteran presence in a roster undergoing significant changes. His first season with the team in 2024 highlighted his ability to produce under new circumstances, rushing for 367 yards and 4 touchdowns on 77 carries, while also adding 35 receptions for 366 yards. This performance, despite interruptions due to injuries including multiple concussions and a torn Achilles tendon, showcased Ekeler's adaptability and reliability in high-pressure situations. As a player who spent 7 successful seasons with the Los Angeles Chargers before seeking a trade for a fresh opportunity, Ekeler brought both experience and professionalism, which proved invaluable to a team in the midst of rebuilding. His influence was felt not only on the field, but also in the locker room, where younger players looked to him for guidance amid coaching changes and roster turnover. The emotional resonance of his recent post underscores the mutual respect and admiration between Ekeler and the Washington fanbase, suggesting that, regardless of what comes next, his tenure will be remembered fondly and may continue to influence team culture moving forward. The Commanders' decision-making in the offseason, particularly regarding the offensive coordinator position, will have significant ramifications for Daniels' future development and the team's overall trajectory. While Kingsbury's departure has been framed as a mutual decision, reports indicate that head coach Dan Quinn likely drove the change, leaving Daniels and others feeling sidelined in a process that directly impacts their on-field performance. Young quarterbacks thrive on consistency, mentorship, and clear communication with their offensive leadership, and the removal of a trusted figure like Kingsbury introduces uncertainty that could affect both team chemistry and individual confidence. As Daniels recovers from the injuries that limited his play in 2025, the opportunity to provide input on the hiring of a new coordinator could be critical in maintaining his commitment to the franchise. Ignoring the quarterback's perspective could risk alienating a player who represents a cornerstone of the Commanders' future, while embracing his feedback might foster trust and collaboration as the team seeks to rebound from a disappointing season. The dynamics between the front office, coaching staff, and players will be under scrutiny throughout the offseason, and the handling of Daniels' concerns may serve as an early indicator of the organization's long-term philosophy regarding player input and leadership. Beyond the quarterback room, the broader implications of these changes are felt across the roster, with veteran players like Ekeler serving as emotional and professional anchors during periods of uncertainty. His contributions, particularly in moments of adversity, exemplify the importance of experienced leadership in guiding younger players through the challenges of professional football. Ekeler's ability to perform both as a runner and receiver provided the Commanders with a multifaceted offensive weapon capable of creating opportunities in diverse situations, while his presence in the locker room reinforced team cohesion and morale. The abrupt end to his 2025 season due to injury not only deprived the offense of a key contributor, but also underscored the fragility of a roster attempting to stabilize after a disappointing campaign. As the offseason unfolds, the handling of both Ekeler's future and Daniels' input on coaching decisions will reveal the organization's priorities and its willingness to balance strategic changes with the human element of player relationships, a delicate equation that could define success or failure in the NFL's competitive environment. Looking ahead, the Commanders face a pivotal period that will determine the trajectory of the franchise for years to come. Decisions surrounding the hiring of a new offensive coordinator, the retention or departure of veteran players like Ekeler, and the integration of young talent such as Daniels will shape the identity of the team and its capacity to compete at a high level. The interplay between front office strategy and player satisfaction is particularly crucial, as maintaining trust and alignment with key contributors can directly influence performance on game day. While the 2025 season highlighted vulnerabilities, injuries, and missed opportunities, it also showcased the resilience of players like Daniels and Ekeler, whose dedication and professionalism provide a foundation for rebuilding. How the organization navigates these challenges, balances continuity with innovation, and communicates transparently with its roster may well define whether the Commanders emerge stronger or continue to struggle amid ongoing transitions. Fans, analysts, and players alike will be watching closely as the offseason progresses, anticipating announcements that could reshape the team's fortunes and signal a renewed commitment to competitive excellence. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. Hold on to your seats, because the football world might be about to explode with one of the most shocking rumors we have heard in recent memory. Sources close to the inner circles of the league are hinting at a move that could reshape the dynamics of the entire National Football League. Imagine this: Brandon Aiyuk, the electric wide receiver whose name has become synonymous with big plays and jaw-dropping catches for the San Francisco 49ers, has allegedly given the green light to a move that insiders are calling nothing short of monumental. The whispers are growing louder every day, and if even half of what is being speculated turns out to be true, this could be one of the most audacious moves of the decade. The chatter isn't just about a standard trade or a simple contract negotiation. No, this is being framed as a total game changer. Aiyuk, who stormed onto the scene after an impressive collegiate career that saw him dominate for the Sierra College Wolverines and later the Arizona State Sun Devils, was drafted in the first round by the 49ers in 2020. Since then, he has carved out a reputation as a playmaker who can turn a game on its head with a single reception. And now, according to multiple sources who have asked to remain anonymous, Aiyuk has reportedly said yes to joining the Commanders. The word yes itself is loaded here because it suggests a willingness, a readiness, and a commitment to take a leap that many analysts would not have anticipated even a few months ago. The implications for the Commanders are massive. Imagine a team that has been looking for that missing piece to elevate their passing game, suddenly being handed a receiver with the explosiveness and versatility of Aiyuk. Rumors indicate that this is not just about filling a roster spot. It is about redefining the entire offensive strategy. If the deal is finalized, the Commanders could suddenly possess a weapon that gives quarterback Jayden Daniels the kind of target he has been craving. Daniels, known for his mobility and sharp decision-making, has shown flashes of brilliance, but there has been a sense that he lacked a receiver who could consistently stretch the field and force defenses to adjust. Enter Aiyuk, the receiver who has repeatedly demonstrated the ability to make contested catches, break tackles, and turn ordinary plays into highlight reel moments. The speculation around this potential signing has sparked an entirely new layer of intrigue among fans, pundits, and opponents alike. The idea that a team could add a dynamic offensive threat without sacrificing its core quarterback in the process is tantalizing, and it speaks volumes about the potential strategy behind the scenes. Sources hint that talks have been ongoing for weeks, with both sides weighing not only the financial and contractual aspects, but also the cultural fit, the playbook adaptability, and the long-term vision of the team. Aiyuk, it seems, is intrigued by the possibility of playing a central role in an offense that could be tailored to his strengths, one where his speed, route-running precision, and natural football instincts are fully utilized. The Commanders, for their part, reportedly see Aiyuk as the missing puzzle piece, the explosive element that can open up the entire field and create space for other players to shine. The ripple effect of this potential signing is already being felt across the league. Analysts are starting to speculate on how defenses would need to adjust, how other wide receivers on the Commanders' roster might be impacted, and how the quarterback-receiver chemistry could redefine expectations for the season. The whispers also suggest that Aiyuk's decision could influence other pending trades and negotiations, creating a domino effect that might be felt well into the offseason. But it is not just the on-field implications that are drawing attention. The media frenzy, fan reactions, and social media speculation are accelerating at an unprecedented pace. Clips of Aiyuk making spectacular catches for the 49ers are circulating alongside mock-ups of him in the Commanders' uniform, fueling discussions, debates, and hot takes from every corner of the sports community. The rumor mill has reached a fever pitch, with insiders hinting at potential contract structures that could make the move feasible for both parties while preserving salary cap flexibility. There are even murmurs about how the team's coaching staff might reconfigure their offensive schemes to accommodate a receiver of Aiyuk's caliber, potentially unlocking a level of unpredictability that could challenge even the most disciplined defensive coordinators. And then there's the human element. Aiyuk himself is reportedly considering not only the professional benefits, but also the personal and cultural fit within the Commanders organization. The leadership, the locker room atmosphere, and the opportunity to mentor younger players appear to be weighing heavily on his mind, suggesting that this decision is about more than just numbers or statistics. It's about legacy, impact, and opportunity. Meanwhile, Jayden Daniels is rumored to be thrilled at the prospect. Insiders indicate that Daniels has long wanted a weapon capable of turning defensive schemes upside down, someone who can command attention, create mismatches, and essentially give him the freedom to operate without constraints. The arrival of a player like Aiyuk could be transformative, elevating Daniels' own game and potentially allowing the Commanders to compete at a level that many had previously thought out of reach. Of course, all of this remains in the realm of speculation. Nothing is officially confirmed, and as with any high-profile move, negotiations can stall, agreements can be reconsidered, and deals can unravel at the last minute. Yet, the mere possibility has sent shockwaves through the NFL community, triggering debates about draft strategies, team-building philosophies, and the balance between star power and cohesive teamwork. Fans are already imagining the highlight reels, the deep ball connections, the clutch catches, and the moments that could define a season if this rumor proves true. Analysts are drawing comparisons to other landmark acquisitions in league history, weighing Aiyuk's potential impact against past players who have dramatically altered the trajectory of their new teams. The narrative is compelling: a dynamic wide receiver, a hungry quarterback, and a franchise willing to take a bold step toward contention. Every detail, from potential play calls to locker room chemistry, is being dissected, and the anticipation is building to a level rarely seen outside of the draft itself or the opening of free agency. What makes this rumor even more electrifying is the timing. In a league where momentum can shift overnight, the possibility of such a move creates an undercurrent of excitement, uncertainty, and intrigue that permeates every discussion, every analysis, and every fan interaction. Could this be the offseason shakeup that defines the narrative for months to come? Could Brandon Aiyuk in Commanders' colors be the catalyst for a season that exceeds expectations in ways no one dared to predict? And what about the domino effect on other teams, other trades, and other strategic maneuvers? Every scenario is being imagined, debated, and dissected with fervor. While nothing is finalized, the energy around this rumor is palpable. Commentators are already speculating on statistical impacts, positional adjustments, and even the broader league ramifications. Social media feeds are flooded with fan theories, graphics, and imagined highlight plays that will be possible with Aiyuk lining up, and could turn the entire offensive strategy into something electrifying, unpredictable, and unstoppable. The speculation continues to swirl, and as insiders drop hints and subtle confirmations, the anticipation builds to a near unbearable level. Fans, analysts, and even rival teams are left to imagine the scenarios, each more tantalizing than the last, while the league watches with bated breath. Whether this rumor materializes or ultimately fizzles, one thing is certain. The mere suggestion of Brandon Aiyuk joining the Commanders has already set the stage for some of the most passionate, intense, and speculative conversations in football circles. The potential is there, the excitement is undeniable, and the implications are vast. In the world of professional football, few stories capture the imagination like the combination of a dynamic receiver, a talented quarterback, and a team on the verge of transformation. If Aiyuk has indeed said yes, we could be witnessing the beginning of a saga that will dominate headlines, highlight reels, and fan debates for months, if not years, to come. The football universe is holding its breath, waiting for the confirmation, watching every development, and imagining a future where Brandon Aiyuk dons the Commanders' colors, providing Jayden Daniels with the explosive weapon that could change everything. And in a league where a single play, a single catch, or a single strategic move can redefine the trajectory of a season, the potential of this rumored acquisition cannot be overstated. Every fan, every commentator, and every analyst is now part of a conversation that could shape the narrative of professional football in ways few could have anticipated, as the possibility of Aiyuk in a new uniform lingers on the horizon, teasing a future filled with speed, skill, and spectacular plays that could make history. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.